Oh man, I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to go out there and make a video talking about Vrana in this kind of way. But the guy went out there and had an interview that kind of bites back at the Red Wings and everything that happened the past few months. That now we have to talk about it. That's the rule. We have to go over it. It's news. Like, this happened. The Red Wings are playing the St. Louis Blues a few hours from now, and this would be a pretty significant game for a lot of people looking at the storylines because St. Louis Blues forward Jakub Vrana, who has been on a pretty big heater as of late, will be suiting up against his former team for the first time. And he's had a pretty good run in St. Louis, not gonna lie. In the 8 games played he's had with the Blues, he's got 6 points, 5 goals, 1 assist, and he's been looking really good. It's very much apparent now that the Red Wings kind of lost out on a talented player, but a player that they could not get that talent out of nonetheless. It was unfortunate to see everything that went down, but long story short, Vrana is doing well in St. Louis. We've made videos the entire time going over the chronicled story, the NHL Player Assistance Program, this and that, and the waivers, the clearing of waivers, and all that. But now, Vrana's on St. Louis, and Vrana's doing all right. And because of this, you had yourselves an article published on the Hockey News by Lou Korak from a few days ago talking about how for Jakub Vrana, the forward is seeing a new lease on life on and off the ice with the Blues after his recent experience with the Red Wings. It talks about some pretty good things regarding the Blues, his perspective, and what his story has been up to this point. It talks about how he had learned from guys in Washington, like Ovechkin and TJ Oshie, and how he was playing there, and it was pretty cool, and they wanted to win, and it was all great. But things kind of take a turn for the interesting when Vrana says this about the trade to Detroit. That was really tough. I didn't expect it at all. I thought my position on the team with the Capitals, how I've been there since day one, since the draft, I thought I would get more opportunity and spend more time there. But unfortunately, that's not what the management wanted. They obviously traded me to Detroit, and in Detroit, it was totally different just going from one team to another. The group of people, they're unbelievable guys down there for sure, but just a younger group of guys. A totally different situation. You're on a team that hasn't been in the playoffs for 5 years or how long. It's a new challenge. You take it as a new challenge. You're really excited to help the team and get to the playoffs, and all of those pieces are there. But I came from a veteran group of guys in Washington that had the experience to a team that was younger. They just don't know what to expect from the league, so it was a little bit different. Then you had yourselves the entire story as to what happened with Detroit. Vrana and his perspective there, it was up and down, pretty much. Unfortunately, these things happened during my career, and Detroit did not accept it really well, as I guess you could tell. When I left the NHL's Player Assistance Program, I didn't get any chance, really much. The decision was to send me down through waivers, and right away, without even getting a game, go to the AHL. That was shocking to me. I had this type of career, but I did it. I accepted it like it is. I'm just a player. I can't make decisions like that, so I accepted it. Went and worked hard. I tried to do my best down there. Finally, I got called up, got scratched in the first 4 games, and then I already kind of knew then, this is it. It wasn't working. I think hockey-wise it could work, to be honest. I think hockey-wise it was there. I just think for some reason, I don't really know what's behind it. I had to take care of some personal stuff outside the locker room, outside the hockey rink. I came back. I felt like a new person. It was totally different. The guys are nice and the organization are good people, it's just, it was a little frustrating to me. I expected a little bit more trust and a little bit more of a chance to kind of put the pieces together again. That didn't work. And this comment had a lot of people on Red Wings discourse sort of freaking out a little bit, saying, wait a minute, Vrana, what are you doing here? Now, I'm going to admit, I did not have the entire context here. Red Wings fans brought up a whole bunch of points that seemed to be well known amongst their circles that didn't really get released into the public or the general public. You know, I'm not in Detroit. I don't really spend all my time looking at MLive or whatever, but like, I'm here in Vancouver. I just look at whatever big news stories pop up, and this Vrana thing was more so one that I was like, yeah, okay, we're not going to figure out what's happening ever. This is not going to be a solvable mystery for a lot of us. Probably for the next few years. He's just going to go to St. Louis. He's probably going to do well because he's a talented player. We all know this. But we're not going to get the answers as to what happened in Detroit. But now he's got this interview. He says, hey, he didn't really expect this, and he was kind of frustrated with how they treated him, and he wanted more of an opportunity, and it was frustrating in the first place how he was on a Washington team that was a veteran, experienced leadership Stanley Cup caliber contending team going over to Detroit. You see, from Vrana's interview here, you had a lot of Red Wings fans going out there and posting up some dirty laundry about the guy. Now, from here on out, I'm going to say that whatever we talk about is not confirmed by anybody, but it has been circulating around enough to the point that I feel comfortable bringing it up. And in particular, I'm talking about a Twitter thread made by Cider Salad. This got 28,000 views. A whole bunch of people on my timeline were retweeting this and liking this. Again, disclaimer, I'm not going to say this is 100% true, I'm just saying this has been brought up multiple times and I've seen it more than once, which is why I'm bringing it up here. Jakub Vrana did a morning interview last year where he came directly from the club and was still drunk. 2. He says he was dealing with off-ice issues, but his time in the Players' Assistance Program was team-directed and not voluntary. 3. The Red Wings gave Bobby Ryan a chance when no one else would. So they don't have a problem with players that are responsibly and successfully dealing with substance abuse issues. If they move on from Vrana, then I don't believe at all that he was the innocent, responsible guy dealing with his problems. Based on his recent comments and how similarly they sound to people I've known in my life who have had similar problems that they weren't handling at all, it sounds to me like someone who isn't taking any responsibility for his actions and is blaming others for the consequences he experienced. In conclusion, I think there are very good reasons why the Red Wings moved on from Vrana, and when his honeymoon phase with the Blues is over, just like with us last year, look for more trouble. And this is why I wanted to say this is not 100% true or confirmed or whatever, I just saw it and I wanted to bring it up. There's a reply here from Kaylee, where did you get this info? Cider Salad says, little info leaks over the last year in podcasts I listened to. Merrick's Show, 32 Thoughts, and the Winged Wheeled Pod. Winged Wheeled, though, guys, they do some pretty good work, and I'm not going to go out there and say that anybody in particular went out there and spewed this sort of info, but because this sort of conversation has popped up more than once, I am starting to get a little bit of a spidey sense tingling off in there saying, okay, maybe there's a little bit more than meets the eye here. And I'm not going to do what I said I was not going to do earlier on in the week or the months or whatever. I'm not going to say definitively speculate, oh, Vrana is like this, he is like that. I'm just bringing up different points of views. Vrana himself said that he was disappointed with the way he was treated. Red Wings fans, on the other hand, are saying, okay, hold your horses there, chap. So it's ultimately up to you what you want to believe in, but at the end of the day, Vrana did strike first and bit back first, so that's kind of why I wanted to make this video. The Wings are playing the Blues later today, so we'll see how that matchup ends up manifesting itself, but either way, thoughts in the comment section below about this extremely weird turn of events of comments and people talking about other people. What are your thoughts on the situation, and do you still think that we don't really have the right to go out there and speculate? I personally did not make any conclusions in this video. I just brought up some different conclusions that other people have made. So you can let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.